my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek with Gil Hava from Formal Ferret Games, and you brought us the expansion to the networks. This is the network's Executives.
The network's Executives, yes. It's the long-awaited expansion. I'm so glad this thing's finally out.
It's
My
real!
God. It's real. It's here. It exists. This isn't a prototype. This is like the thing people can get. I'm very excited that this thing's finally out.
So we're going to assume that people have played the networks before.
Yep.
If you haven't, there's a website you can go to go check it out, which is also obviously by Formal Ferret Games. So what's new with this expansion?
So the big thing that's different are these executives, as you can imagine, these eponymous executives.
And I just got to pull one up here. Like,
so,
that's pretty awesome.
So these executives are going to change the game. You're going to get several of these executives cards, and you're going to choose, you're going to get two. So let's say you get these two executives cards, and you're going to choose one, and that's going to be your power for the whole game. So you get like a superpower that you're going to run the whole game with.
By the way, appreciate the dual gender representation on every card.
It's actually
the flip side.
I mean, that's important to me. I want gaming's for everyone, and games are for everyone. So that's important.
Yeah. So both you're represented on your cards, and then these boards here are double-sided. Both genders.
Of course, gender's not a binary, but I try to do the best I can. It's hard when you've got two sides. That seems the most. Anyway, this gets complicated very quickly, so let's stick to the simple stuff. So, this particular executive that we're showing off, Cable over here, Cable has a special power in that you start with a ton of money. So you're going to start between $16 million and $20 million, and normally you start with about $5 million. To be honest, in executives, you start with less money than in the base game. You start normally with, the first player starts with $3 million instead of $5, and so on. So Cable, starting with like between $16 and $20 million, that's a ton of money to play with. So what's the downside? All these executives also have a downside. The downside of Cable is that Cable is not allowed to take money when they drop in budget. They may only take viewers. Now, that is actually good if you manage things properly. So, like, if you get all the money at the start and you're always getting the 5 or 2 viewers, you're in really good shape. But
so there's always a little pro and con for each one of those. So I can see that having a lot of replayability.
Yep. And also, there's an interesting thing with Cable is when you drop in budget, you still get one action afterwards. So, like, when Cable drops in budget, like, I'm going to say, all right, I drop in budget, but I'm going to move a cube here instead of my marker. These are the Fancy Bits markers. Thank you, Kickstarter backers, for unlocking these as beautiful stretch goals. So you drop out, and then when he comes back around to you, you still get an action, and then you officially move your turn order marker out of the way. And so Cable, you've got to figure out when everybody else is going to drop in budget and do it a round early, do it a turn early. So that's kind of the thing about Cable. So Cable's super interesting to play with, and that shouldn't be there. That should be there. This is Flicks. So if you are Flicks, all your time slots are considered to be the correct time slot because you are now a streaming service. In fact, we give you this little marker over here that covers the 8 p.m.
And then a little puzzle piece there.
Yep, and that shows you that you are, even the 8 p.m. slot is considered to be its proper time slot. So, if you don't care about time slots anymore, but you kind of do. Because your downside now is if you ever change genre within a time slot, you lose 2 viewers.
Okay,
so you've got to work around that.
Give us a super quick tour here of generic.
Okay, yes, generic's super interesting. So you know how you get a genre bonus at 3 or 5 shows of the same genre. With generic, you should have a bunch of extra cubes that are over there. So just pop a few cubes onto there. Excellent. So let's say you get a comedy. You will cover the sitcom icon with this cube. And then maybe later on you get a sci-fi show, you cover the sci-fi action. Once you've allocated all 5 of these cubes, you get a 5-show genre bonus. So, generic, you want to get a bunch of different shows instead of a 3 or 5 show genre. The downside of generic is you don't get the 3 and 5 show genre bonus. You're forced to diversify.
So, anything else that's new with this expansion?
Yes, I mentioned the 5-show genre bonus. So, the first time you get a 5-show genre bonus, or the second time you get a 3-show genre bonus, you get to grab one of these lovely mogul cards. And mogul cards work like supercharged network cards. So take a look at Tycoon, for example. With Tycoon, you may either immediately turn in money for viewers, and you get 2 viewers for every $1 million you turn in, to a max of 26. Or at the end of the game, instead of using it now, you can wait till the end of the game and trade 1 for 1 at the end of the game.
And I've noticed you guys have put a nice little exec label there, so if you're sorting the game afterwards, you know these all get bundled together.
Well, Heiko Gunther is my graphic designer, and he's an amazing graphic designer. He's one of the best, so I'm very happy to work with him. And you know, you got simple ones like here's a simple one: Deep Pockets. Just grab $15 million and 10 viewers. I mean, so that's sort of the order that they work in. They do all sorts of interesting things. Hit over here, you rotate all of your stars and ads from their bad side to their good side, and you get 10 viewers at the end of the game.
Yeah. So we got a lot of good juicy stuff to dig in there.
Last thing is you start the game with a draft, a pilot season draft. So you're going to get 4 cards, and let's actually start with this card over here. If you choose, you're going to choose one of these 4 cards, and that's going to be your 8 p.m. time slot. Because you notice you don't start the game with anything.
Right.
So you start the game with a pilot season draft. If you choose this as your 8 p.m. show, you're also going to get to draw 2 stars from the star deck and keep 1. And so that's going to determine what you start with in terms of stars, ads, and shows.
Oh, so it'll really help differentiate a start between players.
Exactly. And now some of these shows, as you can see, do have genres, like our friend Air Wombat over here. Matt Wolf insisted on the pooping cubes, so we had to put that in. So this show, though, you do have to spend money on. It gives you viewers, but it doesn't give you anything in terms of stars and ads.
Right.
So do you want material in your green room, or do you want the head start?
And of course, you guys have continued the great art and humor throughout all of these.
Travis Kinchy's my illustrator, and he is absolutely amazing. He outdid himself with each expansion. He outdoes himself. So those are the 3 major changes with executives. You have the executives, which give you the special powers. There are 12 in the box, and there's 2 extras that were stretch goals that are available as a mini expansion. There is also these mogul cards, and there's the pilot season cards. Yes.
Fantastic. Yep. Well, if you guys already love Networks, then you can make it even better. If you haven't checked that out, this is the expansion to Networks, which is the Executives, which is published by Formal Ferret Games. And Gil, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It will be in stores in October.
Fantastic.
Thank you.